You know those TikToks where people go to Goodwill and they close their eyes and blindly pick out an outfit to wear? Today I asked myself a very important question. What would happen if you went to the library and did the same thing? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Marissa and I like to talk about books and book design. Today I will be doing just that, going to the library to blindly pick out what I'm gonna read this video. When you watch a lot of booktube and booktok content, it seems like everyone's reading the same books. I've heard a lot of people call it an echo chamber, which I think is a fair criticism. So I thought this would be a really fun way to kind of curve that and find some books outside of the normal book circulation. We're gonna go ahead to the library and see what we can find. And stop. And stop. And stop. Stop. Okay. All right, I'm now back from the library and ready to tell you about what I found. The first book is Her Side of the Story by Alba de Céspedes, maybe. I'll be honest, I really thought when I picked this up it was a memoir, but I have now looked a little closer. It clearly says a novel. So, this is a novel. To be honest, yes, I am intimidated by the size of this. It's like over 400 pages, so I'm hoping it's a good one. This is a book set during World War II in Italy, and it's about this girl who is growing up and, well, let me see. Okay, it says it's a look on this girl's life as she recalls her youth during the rise of fascism in Italy, the resistance, and the fall of Mussolini. So there we go. I'm actually really excited about this because I do like a good historical novel every once in a while. And I feel like I've read a lot about World War II, but I don't really know much about what was going on in Italy. And I honestly don't know that much about Mussolini either. Definitely have never heard of this one. It says it's a new release as of January this year. So that's pretty exciting. And I think we're off to a good start. Next, I picked Nightmare Alley by Lindsay Gresham. This one sounds familiar, like the name, but as far as I know, I've definitely never read it, but I don't think I know what it's about either. Okay, so Nightmare Alley is about this guy named Stan who's working as a carny. I think it's about his time at the carnival and his rise of being like a kind of lowly carnival worker and how he ends up being a stage performer. Says he's clever and ambitious, but not without a streak of ruthlessness. So I'm very intrigued by this one. I do love like the carnival and stuff like that. Sounds like a fun one. And then I picked up The Drowning Kind by Jennifer mcmahon. This one I'm excited about because I have been saying on my channel that I'm looking for a good thriller. So I think this has the opportunity to hopefully meet my expectations. And since this is one that I've never heard about before, I don't see people talking about it online, at least in my circle of things. Maybe my expectations are in a good place because it's not overhyped in my mind. The premise sounds very interesting. So it has something to do with this manor or like estate that the main character, her grandmother, lives there and she spends time there with her sister. There's also like I think 2 point of views. One is that character, and then there's a character in the past who spent time there during the 20s. Basically, on this estate, there's some sort of like natural spring water that is supposed to grant wishes. It said in the description that it starts by the main character, Jax, misses a bunch of calls from her sister, and then the next day she's found dead. There's definitely some sort of mystery element, and I don't really know where it's gonna go, and I don't know what the past story will have to tie into the present. But I'm very excited about it, so I might save this one for last as like my treat. And then I wanted to pull a graphic novel as well, so I picked out Ghost Roast. This is about a girl named Chelsea, and her father is a paranormal removal expert. So she starts working with him, and they're in New Orleans. And little do they know that Chelsea can actually see ghosts. And I think the story is about this ghost boy, Oliver, who she can see and she wants to help him get to the afterlife, but her dad is like actively hunting him. Sounds like such a good time. That is like 100% up my alley. I love a good ghost story. I love like the rich history of New Orleans. This will actually probably be the last one I read. So, of those, I think I'm going to start with her side of the story. It's been a while since I've read a historical fiction, so let's get into it. Okay, I'm about 100 pages into her side of the story, and I'm really enjoying it. The prose is really quite nice. It's just like, it's a really well-written book. I read the description a little bit closer, and it seems to be a story throughout this woman's whole life, and 100 pages in, we are still like pretty much in her childhood. But another thing, I was confused by what this new sticker meant. I guess I thought it meant it was a new release, but I guess it just means that it's new to my library, because this book was written in 1949. I think it was like, it had a re-release in 2003, but pretty much it was like written in 1949, which is really crazy because it's like right after World War II. So the author was very much living this. I'm really interested to like hear her voice in this story and see like, hopefully like a perspective of the war that I've never gotten a chance to read about. But I will say, there have been a few parts that felt a little bit Freudian. The way she's writing about her mother, I'm like, I feel like you like her a little bit too much. I don't know. Basically, I have no clue where it's going. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. Since the concept of this video sort of hinges on the library, I figured it was my specific duty to tell you guys how much I love the library and what I use it for. Obviously, I check out books there and I heavily listen to audiobooks on Libby, but I also frequent the library to visit the makerspace, which if you don't know, a lot of libraries have this now. It's like a free space to use where you can create things. Some things cost money, such as what I'm doing today, which is printing out stickers and poster material. I'm gonna go today to print out some stickers and bookmarks for the winners of my giveaway. If you didn't see my last video, I'm doing a little 1K giveaway. There's still time to enter, so go watch that video. You'll get a little sneak peek of what might be in the prize today. So I finished reading her side of the story and I'm kind of conflicted on my thoughts. I did enjoy it, but I feel like I misunderstood what it was about going into it because the description is a little bit confusing. I don't think the description is very accurate to what the book actually is. It's a World War II story. Is it though? It is, but that is like such a minor focus of the story. Like truly you don't even get into the war until about 70% into the book. I think going into this thinking I was gonna like hear a lot about the war kind of misled me, because what this book is really about is this woman, this character, growing up and becoming a woman in this time period where women didn't really have a lot of options other than, you know, getting married, and that's that. She does meet this guy, Francesco, that comes in about like halfway through the book, and it's about their relationship, which she is unhappy in her relationship with Francesco because he is so unable to meet her needs. She just wants to be romanced. He is like unwilling to do that. The way it reads is he cares more about the war than he cares about Alessandra, but I think it's kind of the toss of the coin where he cares so much about the war because the outcome affects his life and Alessandra, like their safety, you know? He's showing his love in his own way by fighting the war efforts, you know, to protect her in a sense. But that's not really what she wants. In fact, she wants to help him with the war and like help any way she can, but he doesn't think she's suited to do that because she's a woman. And so it's kind of just about how they like miscommunicate and misunderstand each other. I think at times when I was reading it, it was like, ooh, that was a little bit too close to home. I did like it. I liked it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Would have never picked this out for myself. I had never even heard of it. I'm gonna consider this one a win. Guys, I am struggling to get through this one. I don't know what it is. I just find it really hard to follow. The actual writing is good, and when I am like aware of what's going on, like I'm following, I like it. It's good. But it seems like the scenes just blend together in like a hard to follow way. So half the time I'm like, oh, we're in the future now. Okay, I didn't realize we progressed so many years. I thought we were still in that other scene. It's just like little things like that, which is kind of annoying to me. I'm not really finding any of the characters really compelling. Truthfully, I kind of want to DNF it. I don't think I'm going to. You know, it's not really that long, and I'm already like over halfway at this point, so I'm gonna keep pushing. Bless you, buddy. And also, weirdly enough, I think I said this in the last one, there's kind of some Freudian vibes, some weird stuff going on, like the way the characters talk about the parents. That is happening again. That is actually more prevalent in this one. Weird coincidence. Not one that I particularly like. So hopefully the third book doesn't have that, but hey, we'll see. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet with this one. This one was not for me. I wanted to DNF halfway through, and I should have. Everything I was feeling at that moment when I updated last, it was just like continued throughout the rest of the book and kind of got worse. Like, what I will say is I really liked the quality of writing. I think this author, William Lindsay Gresham, is a great writer. I just didn't like the story. I didn't find it compelling, and I found it hard to follow. I really liked the like actual ending of the book, like the very last page. It kind of all comes back around and it wrapped up really nicely. So I guess it was good that I didn't DNF it so that I at least got the satisfaction of that, but I'm honestly not sure who I would recommend this to. Probably no one. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars just because I didn't think it was worthy of 1 star since I did like the quality of writing so much. Solid 2 star. Definitely will not revisit. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to The Drowning Kind. So I am about to start The Drowning Kind, and I am really excited for this one. 1, the plot really interests me, but 2, I'm just really needing something a little bit more fun. The last 2 books have been pretty heavy in content and just like dense in the writing style. Like they were kind of difficult for me to get through. And what I'm wanting is to just like sit on my couch and fly through this. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. Got no plans for the rest of the evening. Just me and Jennifer mcmahon. mcmahon? The Drowning Kind. Guys, I just wanted to give a quick update. I'm still reading The Drowning Kind, and I am loving it so far. And actually, I think this might be a horror novel, not thriller, which I'm very pleasantly surprised to find. But tell me this cover isn't giving thriller. I don't know, but there are some supernatural elements in it, seemingly. It's really reminding me of the movie Night Swim, which, to be honest, that movie was a flop. But it's like the same kind of premise of like the natural spring that grants wishes, but maybe that's not necessarily a good thing. I think that's like a common story in like folklore, mythology of some sort. The only point of reference I have is that there's like also a supernatural episode similar to that. So I'm just excited to keep reading it, which is all I could ask for. This book was so good. This book has renewed my faith in thrillers. And I know there was a clip of me earlier saying that it's a horror, and I do still think that. And when I looked it up, it said it was both thriller and horror. I think the writing feels more like a thriller book. Hey, buddy. I think the writing feels more like a thriller book, but it has some horror elements. I think the most accurate way to describe it would be a supernatural thriller. This is the first book in a while where I just like didn't want to put it down while I was reading it. I was so curious to see how everything was gonna play out. I thought it was very atmospheric. It had kind of a small town, haunted mansion type feel, but also like a creepy pool and creatures in the water, which if you watch my mermaid vlog, then you know I love that. And some good old family drama, which is possibly my favorite subject to read. All in all, I rated this one 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it, and I would especially recommend it if you're looking to get into thrillers or back into thrillers like me. It's a thriller that's well written, has good characters, they're not like flat, two-dimensional people, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I will say, I feel like there are a few plot lines that sort of get dropped in the end, specifically one that Jax, the main character, has with one of her clients. It feels like it kind of just fizzles out at the end, and we don't really get any answers there. I wish that was handled a little bit better, but it wasn't done so poorly that it like ruined the reading experience for me. I think after having read this one, I'm considering the video a success. And I think I'm gonna explore Jennifer McMahon's other books because I enjoyed this one so much. So since I've been looking for good thrillers, I think she might have something else in store for me. And now I just have one book left in this little reading vlog, and that would be this graphic novel, Ghost Roast. I don't know if I showed earlier, but this is what the art style is looking like. I think I'm just gonna sit here and read it all right now. I'm hoping that I do fly through it like I have been anticipating, because the video was supposed to go out yesterday. And I haven't even finished reading all the books, let alone editing the video, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see if we get another home run. Okay, I finished Ghost Roast. Also, just for your consideration, this was really cute. I had a lot of fun with it. I really like the art style. It kind of reminded me of like a Nintendo DS game. They are, I guess ghost hunting is the word, on a slave plantation. So we get to see a lot about that history and how some of the characters, specifically the ghosts, were affected by that. I thought it was really interesting. It's definitely young adult, middle grade. Like, it is for a younger audience, but I still thought it was fun. I liked it. Overall, a successful pick. I give this one also 4 out of 5 stars. So of my 4 library books, 3 of them were 4 out of 5 stars. Okay. And then 1 was a 2 out of 5 stars, should have DNF'd. I think that's pretty good odds. Just a reminder, here is what I read, and I'm gonna rank them. Obviously, number 1 is The Drowning Kind. I really enjoyed this one. I'm gonna say Ghost Roast next. It was fun, and maybe just because I'm in the mindset now where I'm craving fun, so this is more at the top of my mind, and I literally just finished it. Then Her Side of the Story, and at the bottom of the pile, Nightmare Alley. This one was my only flop, but hey, it's, like I said, it's pretty good odds. So overall, I think this was a successful experiment, and I would definitely do it again. It was definitely a fun way to get some books into my radar that wouldn't be there otherwise. It's nice to read something truly without the influence of like social media telling me whether or not I'm gonna like it. As much as I obviously love getting recommendations and giving recommendations on social media, it's nice to go into things unbiased. And that's all I have for us, folks. I hope I inspired you to check out the library and, you know, peruse it for yourself, see if you can find any hidden gems. If nothing else, stop what you're doing and go register for a library card. Because even if you never use it, which you should, it still helps the library grow, and libraries get more funding the more people who are registered for library cards, because it shows that they're like active. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. And with that, I am signing off, going to bed, and then hopefully to edit this tomorrow. And I will hopefully see you in the next one.